Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shemai, Yashar Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shemai, Yashar Allah. Give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect, as a high spirit and lawyer. And today I want to go into a topic going into, nobody wants Jake to have anything. All right, Jake can't have anything in this society. So I was watching little YouTube clips, YouTube shorts of Shannon Sharp being criticized about his dating choices, right? Because Shannon Sharp basically is a retired tight end from the Denver Broncos. All right, he's like 56. He still has an athletic physique. Nonetheless, he's criticized for being, in his 50s, talking to women who's in their 20s and 30s. Right, but it's all rooted back down to Jake is lower in the pecking order in this society in Esau's kingdom. Right, so I'm leaving a restaurant a couple weeks ago. Right, I had a pickup order or whatever. And Eve is walking out the restaurant, and this is a badass Eve, like real talk. It wasn't like the big eyelash tattoos everywhere, lace front Eve. Not this woman wasn't an inner city type Eve. This was actually an attractive woman, like the cream of the crop of Eve. Nonetheless, guess who was walking out the restaurant with her? Some old Edomite. It didn't biologically make sense. It didn't genetically make sense. Some old Edomite was walking out the restaurant with her, all right? And nobody would criticize that. And we all, if you went to certain cities, like in little tourist areas, you will often see that. You will see a very attractive Eve, the cream of the crop of Eve, all right, being with some old Edomite. It had nothing to do with love or attraction. It didn't genetically make sense. But going back to the story, Shannon Sharp is an athletic, retired millionaire, and he desires young, attractive women. All right. When I say young, I mean by this world standard of young, 20s and 30s, and he's criticized by it. And Monique, and you all know Monique. She played in the show The Parkers. And others, she played the crazy woman in that particular movie. I can't think of the movie right now, but she was on the show on the interview with Shannon Sharp, and she's rebuking him like, "You too old to mess with these young bras and all this stuff. You need to get you an old woman." Well, most men who are older don't come out of a marriage looking for a woman that's 40, 50 years old. You see, typically a man looks for younger women, but I noticed it's cool when they do it. It's cool when Esau does it. Nobody criticizes old Edomite for dealing with the best of Eve. Nobody say, "Oh, she just with him because of his money." Now, when Jake do it, now it's a problem. And Shannon Sharp has a one-up on the average old Edomite because he's physically on point. He's physically in shape. You see? So, of course, he's so-called tricking off. Of course, he's financing everything, but Esau wills too. But Esau has a mentality: I'm gonna get the pick of the litter, I'm gonna get the cream of the crop. And Jake wants the cream of the fucking crop, and he can afford to get the cream of the crop, but he's criticized for it. Now, I'm not some Shannon Sharp fan, it's not that he said things that didn't sound out of line or whatever it may have you, but he's on point as far as his pickings. Okay, but here it is. Monique want to send Jake back to the plantation. They want to send Jake back to the plantation. That's feminism for you. We supposed to be the same age, so we supposed to date each other. You in your 50s, so you need to get a woman in her 50s. That makes sense when y'all grew older together. Y'all met in y'all 20s or in high school, and y'all grew older together. But typically, a successful Jake is not going to be older and shoot for an older woman. What's the Israelite foreigner name? Leonardo DiCaprio. He was seen with some 19, 20-year-old. That's how you do it. Kenan from Kenan and Kel. He's with a younger woman. Jamie Foxx in his 50s with a 22-year-old. That's what you do. You get the cream of the fucking, get the choice pickers, man. Feminism wants to normalize a woman playing the field for at least a decade or two, then settling down for you. Feminism, especially when it comes to Jake, they get mad or they criticize you when you don't play into their frame. When you have your own frame, meaning you get women based off your selection as opposed to you being part of their selection. But guess what? On the flip side, Eve does that. American women do that. They'll be divorced and they'll be in their 40s and 50s and they'll get some YN. They'll get some dude in his 20s. They'll date a guy in his 20s. I remember I would always see pictures of Aretha Franklin with some younger guy. So you know she's financing it, but nobody criticized that shit. Nobody says get a guy that's your age and your weight class. Nobody said that shit. You see, it's cool when they do it, but when Jake has a frame and he gets things based off his frame, he plays into his own frame, meaning he gets things that he wants based off his liking, right? As opposed to playing the game of feminism and getting women based off their frame, i.e. playing the field, then settling down, or you're not getting a pick of the litter, all right? Because one thing that feminism has done, it has allowed women to become the selector and not the selected. You see? Nobody criticized 4'11" Eve for wanting a guy that's 6'4". I've literally seen shorts on Pop the Balloon with a woman to be like 4'9", 4'11", and a Jake will be 5'9". And she was like, I know you're like a foot taller than me, but I still want a guy that's way taller than me. Nobody criticizes that shit. But when Jake who wouldn't want to be built like Shannon Sharp at 56 years old? If you built like that and you got a bag, you finna still turn around and get an older woman? Now, hey, what you like is what you like. You know, if I see something in public that's attractive, it really doesn't matter how old she is to me. If she's attractive, she's just attractive. But on paper, I'm gonna say I want a younger woman. You know? But when Jake, like I said, moves like a prince, he moves like a fucking elite, he's criticized. But that's what Esau does all the time. He's an older man that's successful, and he gets a tenderoni. He gonna get the best of the best. Why wouldn't you, especially if you financing everything? Why wouldn't you, man? It just proves that that's part of that psychological plantation, is that you're not supposed to have the best. Esau's supposed to have the best. Eve is supposed to have the best in her eyes. Eve is 40, 50, 60 years old and still haven't settled down because she wants to please her hypergamy, or she wants the best, or she at least wants to bask in her options. But when Jake does that, oh, it's a problem. Once again, we have a culture of women who are in their 50s and 60s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're talking to Jake that's in their 20s. But that's not criticized. Hell, you even have Jake, there's a rich athlete that's 19, 20, and he's talking to some IG model that's 38 years old. And it's clear that she's manipulating him. And they don't really get backlash like that, man. You see? They sent the young virgin to King David, man. They sent the young virgin to King David on his dying bed. King David was elderly, and a young virgin was sent to him. You see? Yahushai's biological father, Joseph, had Mary at a young age. He wiped up Mary at a young age, man. But once again, it's cool when they do it. It's cool when Esau gets the pick of the litter and it doesn't even genetically look right. Like, damn, why she with him? You know why she with him. He bought her. He bought her. Or Eve, she could be 40, 50 years old, and she fuck around with a young nigga with dreads, 24 years old, But when Jake plays into his own frame, he doesn't play into feminism's frame. All right, he plays into his own frame, and he's an older Jake with a younger woman. Now it's criticized, and you fucking stay in shape, But once again, feminism and Eve gets upset when you don't play into their frame. You see? That's why they call Jake a hoe. Like, they'll call a man a hoe. Like, you single? Oh, you must be a hoe. You know why? Because you didn't play into the frame of feminism and get married to some retired whore. You didn't play into the frame of, well, a woman playing the field for about 15 years and then settling for you. Nah, you kept it P, and you stayed single, and you protected your resources, you protected your freedom and your peace of mind. But the feminism will criticize you and say, oh, you a hoe. All right, because you did not play into the frame of feminism. You did not play into Eve's frame, Period. But that's pretty much the point, That's pretty much the point, man. We're not celebrating Jake. We're not saying Jake is some righteous man. But as far as his choosing in women, man, that's natural, man. We're not finna be criticized because we got a fucking standard and a preference. They want Jake to be a lowlife so fucking bad. They want you to be a bomb so fucking bad. You're right. They want Jake to be, if you got a nice car as a Jake, you gotta explain yourself. People want you to explain why you got a nice car. You don't stay in the hood. And I've been around Edomites like that. They baffle, like, they're trying to figure out like how you be able to, like, if you stay where they stay at, they trying to figure out like what you do. They want you to struggle. They want you to struggle. They want you to be that just a struggling motherfucker that die at 50, man. Because Shannon Sharp is 56 years old, and you go Google image Shannon Sharp, and that man is ripped the fuck up, right? Man, my papa died at 55 years old with no legs from diabetes. My granddad. This is over 25 years ago, like 28 years ago, 27. But he died. He went back to the Most High with no fucking legs because of diabetes at 55. But that's normal. That's normal. Uncles and shit having heart attacks at 60, getting sticks and getting artificial fucking veins put by their heart because the arteries clogged up. But that's normal. That's normal. You die at 55 from a heart attack. Fucking normal. 60 years old, normal. But when you self-care, like Shannon Sharp, he's a guy that self-cares. He's a guy that self-cares, man. Of course, as a man, you want that cream of the crop, man. But Auntie Mama criticized. Yeah, Monique was playing the role of Auntie Mama. Boy, get your butt back on this plantation. Because to me, feminism ain't nothing but an Israelite man's plantation, man. When you hover feminism over a so-called black man, it's saying, boy, get back on this plantation and pick this cotton. And get your ran through wife. Come back here, boy. Boy, what you stop talking that big city talk, nigga? You ain't finna make it to no big city. Get your butt back on this plantation, boy. Don't nobody want your ass, boy. Your old ass, boy. Get your butt back on this plantation. That's feminism. Don't nobody want you, boy. You watch the show Pop the Balloon. Yeah. I desire vitality, brother. We watch the show Pop the Balloon. What they got Eve saying? In so many words. Boy, don't nobody want you, boy. Don't nobody want you, boy. And most of those guys are nice looking guys, clean cut guys, right? by the world standards, right? Decent looking Jake. Popping the fuck out the balloon. But we know how Eve get down, man. All right? We know how Eve, but I believe Elder Pastor Hart, I think they put that video up as a psychological attack towards the Israelite man. They have a poor self-image. I'm inside the grocery store and they still playing this old ass song from TLC. So, no, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Why is the love between a man and a woman in so-called black culture predicated off how much money he makes? You know? A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fine. And also, like, you're supposed to have a positive self-image. Just how is Eve that don't know that she's naturally cute without makeup? It's a lot of Jakes that don't feel like they're handsome. Because where did that come from? These psychological attacks. A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fine. Now you feel like I can't talk to a woman unless I make a certain amount of money. Bro, if you got your basics, you good. It ain't like we getting virgins out here. And I'm gonna make an effort to sound realistic as possible. But if you got your basics, you good, man. A man should try to have his basics, man. But yeah, no. Esau used Eve as a handler. Feminism is Jake's handler. Boy, don't nobody want you. It's to keep you in your Frankenstein state. What type of Jake what type of Jake does Eve like? Them Frankensteins. The Frankenstein, we want the Frankensteins. We want the monsters. But if you're not in that Frankenstein mode, it's like, he too, he just, And we know not all Eve is like that, but generally Eve is like that. She like the Frankenstein energy, the Frankenstein spirit, man. Because Eve is Jake's handler on Esau's plantation. Feminism is the Israelite man's handler. So feminism is there to keep you in this mode of feeling incompetent and inadequate, and just being a guy that's subject to your primal instincts. The scripture says a man who has a wife, he's gonna seek to do the things of the world that's to please his wife. So Jake, on a subconscious level, he gonna do certain things because he knows it's Eve approved. It's Eve approved, man. You know, i.e., be a crash out or act all, too hard and shit. It's evil. That character, that personality is Eve approved, man. You know. But like I said, Monique went nothing but Anja Mama. You watch that YouTube short with Shannon Sharp talking to Monique and she just spazzing at him. Like, get your ass a old woman. You are too fucking old. You mess with these young women. She wouldn't dare tell it to an old Edomite man with a young broad. And Edomite, I hate to say this shit, but he got a ruling class mentality. He gonna get the cream of the crop. And most Edomite men are decrepit. After a certain age, they look like shit. But that money though. You see? But Shannon Sharp, he kept himself up and he gonna get the baddies. But you see how they want to keep you on that little modern plantation, that low self-esteem plantation, that low morale plantation. That low morale plantation. You just dealing with something. They want you to just be a miserable man that's defeated after divorce, or extremely obese, in and out the hospital and shit. A lot of us, Jake, should be jogging, man. Because one thing that I jogging on the treadmill or walking in the park like Elder Pastor Bar. Because it's certain things is like an elixir for us, man. Because this kingdom is so low level that if you don't push yourself and assert yourself to be physically active, you'll just deteriorate just from living here. The food is garbage, the air is garbage. So you don't have anything to put life in you, man. All right, but hey, with that, just want you brothers and sisters. I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Habashai, Bahashim Rakah HaKadosh. I want to give double honors. Oh, okay. All right. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of everything elect. And Baba Baal, Kumar Shalom, Shalom.